just in case some of you people don't know what Richie from Boston does.
Upgrade to watch videos ad-free, offline, and in the background.
I just
Start
give everything a thumbs
YouTube
down
Premium
anymore.
Today.
Check this out.
President Graham Allen here. I just want to ask why some people are
Who cares?
blaming you for
I give everything a
burning
thumbs
and
down. I don't even care anymore. Sorry, Richie. Next time I'll let the commercial play through.
But it was time to head back out and head for a stream.
I just want people to see what you really do,
I found
man.
out that there was a stream close by that I could go down in a kayak.
That's sweet.
And would have a good chance of spotting wildlife. So
I'm curious, do you care? Wow, what happened here? Huh. I'm curious if you carry a kayak with you, or maybe some of your partners. I know they make inflatable ones, but I don't know how durable they really are. Especially when when you got pinned under that tree, you know? Which you'll all notice in the video coming up. Good grief, where'd my little button go? Am I even recording anymore? It doesn't look like it. Huh. What the heck? I only got 53 minutes. Wow. Huh. Imagine that. This little thing didn't show up. Try this again. All right.
it's pretty amazing.
And look, it started way back there again. I should have bought one of those instead of this stupid RV.
Jailbreak Overlander. I'm Richie, and this is Jailbreak. And once again, I found myself in southern Missouri, pushing my truck through the tangled, overgrown trails of the Ozarks. I was looking for a camping site that I had found once before. It was incredibly desolate and hard to find. But I made my way there. I was on a mission. Not only was I looking for the camp,
I could do that in my RV, but I probably couldn't get there in it.
Water moccasins, cottonmouths, or copperheads. And that led me to the river. And you're gonna want to see this. So sit back, relax, and check this out.
shit.
See, I can't do that in my RV. That's for doggone sure. Man, look at all that fish. Those are nice. I want to get one of those saws that you got, that you used in this video. The backbone, whatever it's called, I can't remember exactly. That's badass. I'm curious though, what is, let's see if it'll refresh a little. What is that cable coming down from the front end to the ground? Is that some kind of a grounding cable, or is that like an anchor? Always.
So here I was, once again,
Look at that.
driving down a trail that looked like no one had been here in 10 to 15 years. Pushing my truck through overgrown tangles of branches.
I sure couldn't get my RV through there.
Muddy inclines. only to be met by stream and river crossing after river crossing.
That I could do.
Fortunately, it was summertime and the water was fairly low. I pushed my truck through the woods like a
That's
seamstress
questionable.
pushes a needle through fabric. It was no joke whatsoever. But I had to find this camping spot because I was
I
bound
see the wheels
and
slipping, so
determined
you're
to
going
get
up.
video of poisonous snakes.
Yeah.
This was no easy task.
Yeah, that's not RV passable. That probably wouldn't be so bad,
I finally made my way to
but
the
getting
campsite
stuck
I
would
was
be it.
looking for. Skirted on one side by sheer cliffs and on the other by a trout-filled river. If you were fast enough, you could literally pull a 12-inch trout out of that river with your bare hands. It's amazing.
Or just put a small scoop net out there and hold it in there and let one swim in, and you got dinner, right?
The water is a golden brown, clear as can be, and when the water's high enough, it makes for a phenomenal swimming hole.
Man, that's
Sadly,
gorgeous.
The water was fairly low right now,
Gorgeous.
but still crystal clear. Before I started cutting campfire wood for the night, I decided to take a walk around. The sun was setting, and copperheads are notorious for warming themselves on rocks at night, and I wanted to see if I could locate one.
Look how beautiful that is.
Again, nobody comes to this area. It's very, very desolate and a perfect place to find wildlife.
Perfect
That's
place to
exactly
get
what
the
I
hell out
wanted
of
to do.
Dodge, too.
I searched high and I searched low. I set up my Bone Valley saw.
Bone
and started
Valley.
banging out some fire
There we
for
go.
the night.
That
It
thing's
was already
badass.
hot, but I just feel a little more secure with a campfire going when you're all alone in the middle of nowhere, like I was.
Thought I'd seen someone else on a kayak with you.
The bow saw from Bone Valley just blows right through wood, no matter what size it is, and I cut up a lot of firewood.
Man, you are a big dude.
Now,
Dang.
for kindling, I use birch bark that I bring from the northeast and carry in a bag. Whether it's freezing, raining, snowing, it doesn't matter. Simply hit it with a lighter or a ferrocerium rod, and this stuff goes right up. Like that. No problem. Birch bark is fairly common. You can actually see it on a tree behind me.
Yeah,
After
it's
searching
got that
for
white
snakes,
paper
getting
on
the
it.
camp ready, I set the fire and settled in for the night. This was my view waking up in my Alucab rooftop tent first thing in the morning.
Man, how beautiful.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it was time to head back out and head for a stream. I had found out that there was a stream close by that I could go
Yeah,
down.
definitely
in a
couldn't
kayak
get my RV through that.
and would have a good chance of spotting wildlife. So I was all about it. Now, I've used a kayak on the Atlantic Ocean, on many rivers and streams, and I didn't think this was going to be a problem whatsoever at all. The water was very low. What could possibly go wrong?
That's the wrong question to ask. I found out something navigating on the Colorado River up in Nevada. I found out that you start upstream because once you get downstream, it's a biatch to get back upstream. Unless you got somebody waiting for you.
Nice and calm, nice and flat. And it's only about 7 inches deep right here.
See, there's someone in front of you there, right?
All is well, correct? Well, that's going to change in a second, and you'll see what
That's
I'm
cool.
talking about.
Never travel alone,
Fortunately,
man.
I have a GoPro on my forehead, so you get to see it firsthand, just like I did. Here we go.
Unfortunately, I usually travel solo because I just don't like people much. Only reason I'm here is because of my mom's car accident. or I'd be out of here somewhere up in the high desert of California.
Shit.
I managed to get myself wedged under a tree limb, and the kayak was filling with water rapidly. Again, I'm only in 12 inches of water, but I'm jammed sideways under a tree with the current trying to jam me even worse. I did everything I possibly could to get myself out of this log jam, and finally just stood up and tipped the kayak back over and carried it over to the shore. It was quite the Godsmack, we'll call it.
Yeah, exactly. An awakening, huh? how little, how little depth of water can actually make life miserable. I mean, obviously you could step out, but what if it was deeper? You know?
After calming my nerves, I jumped back in the kayak and headed downstream. I only had it about another hour and a half of sunlight as sun was setting rapidly. The scenery was amazing. Tons of incredibly large soft-shelled turtles scurried along the bottom of the water.
Well, there's dinner.
The cliff faces were beautiful, the birds, the insects, everything was just
I love
amazing.
turtle soup.
I found numerous 6 to 10 foot deep pools of water, just like this.
Look how clear that is.
Crystal clear,
Wow.
bright blue water, almost tropical, just utterly amazing, and most people will never see this in their lifetimes. As it started getting closer to nightfall,
Look at
I
that.
started noticing things in the water. You'll see right here, I finally located a copperhead. This is about a 3-foot long snake with more
Dang.
than enough venom to put you in the hospital all day. It's kind of crazy thinking that people swim in this stream and there's poisonous snakes everywhere. But normally, if you don't bother them, they won't bother you.
Same thing with rattlesnakes.
There were caves speckled all over the cliff faces and beaches
Look how
everywhere.
pretty
as
that
the
is.
water was incredibly low. Seeing 2-foot, 3-foot alligator gar, pike was incredibly common, as were the soft-shelled turtles.
Pike are good eating fish.
Not to mention the beaver that would pop up here and there. It was awesome. It was just phenomenal. Everything I could possibly ask for.
As a kid, my uncle used to take me fishing for pike up in Canada. Yeah, they're a bit bony, but man, they are delicious. By the way, so are snake. I had an old Native American buddy that used to be a dam attendant up in Monrovia Canyon in California. And he taught me how to fillet them bad boys up and cook them the right way, the old way, the native way. That was the Saw Pit Dam in Monrovia, California. Nicest guy you'd ever meet in your life. Him and I became pretty good friends. And on the other side of the dam was Irma and Steve and his boys. We all became good friends too. We're talking latter 80s, early 90s. Kind of hard to remember because I'd taken a lot of bumps on the head like Richie. A couple stab wounds and whatever.
As I continued paddling downstream with one hand while using a camera to check underwater, more and more rocks began presenting themselves in the stream or the river, and that's when I started noticing them. About a half an hour till nightfall, I noticed a large water moccasin coiled up on top of a rock. And then on the next rock, I noticed a large copperhead. And then I began to notice that on top of all the rocks all around me were incredibly poisonous snakes. I had found them, like this copperhead right here. Just sitting there. I'm within a foot of these guys because I am that dumb. I've loved wildlife since I was a child, and I have absolutely no fear of them. This is a 4-foot water moccasin that I paddled right up to. He was a big boy. And on this rock right here, there's a copperhead sliding into the water, as you can see. At the end of the day, they warm themselves on hot rocks. I am literally 2 foot away from this water moccasin. I had wondered how
They'll stay there for the whole night too.
Videotape these guys because they're always moving so
If
quickly.
you don't bother
Well,
them.
this was the perfect way. This copperhead was just kind of hanging off the side of this rock. And remember, I'm at water level. Another copperhead. They were literally all around me. It was amazing. Utterly amazing. I had finally found the snakes I was looking for. And not 1 or 2, but a good half dozen. The sun finally went down, and I realized I was surrounded by rocks with poisonous snakes in the dark, and it was time to find my way out of there, which I did.
That's cool.
I love this stuff,
Yeah.
and I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Thank you, brother.
If you'd enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and leave a comment below.
And I'm going to share it the only way I know how.